Let me ask you something. Why is it that some UFC fighters don't even look that intimidating at first? But the second they grab someone, the entire fight changes. The opponent suddenly slows down, the crowd gets quiet, and you can almost feel that the fight just tilted in one direction. It's not because they don't respect striking. It's because their grappling foundation is so solid that everything else they do works better because of it. Khabib, Islam, Khamzat, Charles Oliveira, completely different styles. But every one of them built their game on grappling first. So today, I want to break down how these UFC legends actually grapple, what makes them so effective, and how you can start thinking the same way when you train, without needing elite genetics or a Dagestan childhood. A lot of people treat grappling like it's just ground stuff. But grappling controls the entire fight. If you can decide where the fight goes, you control the pace. If someone knows you can take them down whenever you want, they strike differently. They hesitate. They don't overcommit. That's why grappling makes everything else stronger. And here's another thing people get wrong. Grappling isn't about strength. If it was, the strongest guy in the gym would win every round. But that never happens. Good grappling is about balance, pressure, timing, and patience. It's about making your opponent uncomfortable without rushing, and no one understood that better than Khabib. Khabib's grappling didn't look fancy, and that's exactly why it worked. He didn't care how clean the takedown looked. He cared about staying connected. If the first shot failed, he didn't reset and back away. He switched to another attempt. If you stood up, he followed. If you grabbed the cage, he dragged you back into the open. That constant connection is exhausting to deal with. Once Khabib got on top, he slowed everything down. He trapped legs, he pinned wrists, he made you carry his weight. Those short punches everyone remembers weren't about knocking people out. They were about stress. Stress makes people tired faster. Stress makes people rush. And rushing and grappling is how you lose. Khabib's biggest lesson is simple. Don't rush submissions. Build pressure first. Islam grapples like someone who's never in a hurry.
Yeah, boy.
When he's on top, he looks relaxed. He's not forcing positions. He's adjusting inches at a time. Small shifts of weight, blocking hips, pinning shoulders. It doesn't look exciting to casual fans, but it's miserable to be under. Islam waits for you to get frustrated. And when you finally try to explode out of position, that's when he attacks.
What?
That's why his submissions look so smooth. They're not rushed. They're set up. Islam shows that patience and control beat chaos almost every time. Khamzat brings a completely different energy. His grappling is aggressive, but it's not random. He wants to make you uncomfortable as fast as possible.
Hey, yo, what the?
Early takedown, straight to mount or back control, immediate pressure. He doesn't let opponents settle, and that pressure forces reactions. People turn the wrong way. They expose their back. They forget fundamentals. Khamzat shows that grappling doesn't always have to be slow, but it always has to be controlled. Intensity, when used correctly, breaks confidence. Charles Oliveira might be the best example of confidence in grappling. He's comfortable in bad positions, and that's what makes him scary. When most fighters get knocked down or hurt, they panic. Charles starts attacking. Guillotines, triangles, back takes. Even when a submission doesn't work, it forces movement, and movement creates openings. Charles teaches a massive lesson. You don't have to dominate every position. You just have to stay dangerous in every position. So next time you train, keep it simple. When you shoot or clinch, don't disconnect. Chain attempts like Khabib. When you get on top, slow things down. Settle your weight like Islam. If you reach a dominant position, apply pressure and urgency like Kamzat. Make them uncomfortable, and if you're stuck in a bad spot, don't freeze. Stay active and attacking like Charles. You don't need to know everything. You need a solid foundation. Grappling is a base. It supports striking. It controls fights. It breaks confidence. And once you start seeing it that way, you'll understand why these fighters feel impossible to deal with.